Okay, when you hear people say to stay present or to be in the present, they're not saying what you think they're saying. Likely, what you think they're saying. The present is not the physical world. It's not what you see, touch, feel, taste, hear. It's not your physical environment. It's not the 3D world. The present is your internal spiritual world, which is where you are creating what you're experiencing in the physical world. So, what you're seeing and experiencing out here in the physical world is the past. It's what you've already thought about, imagined, repeated in your mind from either consciously or subconsciously, from trauma, from purposeful thinking, from thinking on purpose, from creating your own mindsets, or from operating from your programming or the mindsets that have been given to you. So when you're told to be present, you are told to have your gaze turn inward and to be living from the inside out. The present is your spiritual world, your internal world. It is how you feel. It is what you are thinking. It is actually you being the awareness of what you are thinking and feeling. And then consciously thinking on purpose what you want, consciously feeling and observing the things in your internal world and guiding them and directing them so that you are then creating your external world. And a lot of times you might go through years of healing, you might go through an internal shift that is immediate for you, and you're like, well, damn, why does my external world still look the same? It's because there's a delay. It's not automatic. And so you'll hear teachers say, don't take your external world as a cue to what you're manifesting and what you're creating. We'll talk about manifesting in a whole nother video because they got y'all all fucked up on that too. But when you're reacting and responding based on what you see in your physical world, then you're just going to create more of it because you might be like, damn, why am I still in this fucked up situation? Or why doesn't my external world look like what I'm creating internally or look like what I'm envisioning? Because there's a delay. It's the last remnants of, or it's the cycles playing out of what you're thinking, what you're believing, and what you're creating. And there's a lot more to this, but there's not. Like, it's simple, but it's easy. But also, a lot of times what you're playing out or what you're watching play out in the physical world, what you're watching on the screen, like say you're going to a movie, you're watching the final result of someone writing the screenplay, getting actors, a director, producers to put it all together. You're watching the end result of a whole project being put together. That's the physical world. And sometimes you're being asked to be still and not do shit, especially if you're making a huge change, especially if you're coming into awareness, you're coming into realizing that you're the creator of all of this. You're going to be asked to be still because you're likely going to be playing out old patterns that are asking to be that you yourself are like, oh, I'm done with these patterns. I'm done with all this shit. So just be still, because if you keep taking actions and keep doing the same things, you're going to push the cycle even more, and you might fuck up and push the cycle and have to do it again, the full cycle. And cycles in the physical world are 3, 7, 12 years. I mean, they can be sooner, they can be longer, but I mean, it just depends on you ultimately. But think about the cycles and how long cycles are of things. But it's hard for us to be still sometimes because we're used to being told that we need to be doing, going. And so sometimes it's hard to just be still. But when you're aware of what's happening and conscious, when you know yourself and you're like, oh, I'm asking myself to be still because I don't want to perpetuate the cycle. I need this shit to end so that new can begin. And even then, stuff needs to play out. Even when you've gone through a lot of healing and purging and you're like, wow, I really know what's up. And you've made shifts internally, and internally, like it's lit, like you're living it up internally, you still are going to see things wrapping like the remnants of things in the physical world. You're like, well, why is this playing out? It's just got to play out. It's can be frustrating at first, and then it gets dope as fuck. But just let it play out. Being present is internal. You deciding how you feel, what you're thinking, what you're believing, operating from your knowingness, being connected to your knowingness, being connected to the awareness part of you, not to the ego part. I mean, you're going to be connected to the ego part anyways. Like, we'll talk about the kill the ego bullshit too, but it's all you. You need it all. They're all tools. I mean, you're not going to build a home and throw away your toolkit. You don't need to kill the ego. You need to know what the fuck it is and how it operates. You need to know how the world operates. You need to know how to use your tools properly. And that's going to mean probably throwing away some of these teachers and people you listen to because they're teaching you bullshit that's keeping you in cycles and circles. But anyways, being present is being internally, and it's not being in your mind. It's not confusing yourself with thoughts. It's being awareness, being in the awareness of the thoughts and the emotion, and being the one who's controlling how you're using thoughts. If you're using thoughts at all, because you don't need to be residing in the mind. There's a lot to it, whatever. If you have questions, let me know. But yeah, being present is not what you've been told being present is. Be well. Let me know if you have questions.